Okay, this is Mr. Charles. Just wanted to talk about some things that just happened to pop up, make me start thinking. I'm out here early in the morning. What is it, 7:50, something like that, a.m. out at Berkeley City College, and parked in front of Berkeley High School. Anyway, but what I want to talk about is seems like a lot of people have interest in finding wives outside of the United States, outside of the U.S. Uh, my personal opinion, I don't blame them because I'm married to someone who wasn't born here, Filipina, obviously from the Philippines. She was born there and came here when she was about 19. But we've been married 22 years, something like that. So I kind of understand, but a lot of guys don't understand what goes along with um, this whole situation of marrying somebody from a different culture, and that's basically what it boils down to is someone with a different culture. The culture differences can make a difference in your relationship if you don't uh, take time to figure that out first. It can devastate the relationship over time. Um, what I'm talking about is, yeah, you can fall in love. They're cute when they're young and nice and sweet, just like most people, most women. Um, I think American women have probably been so abused by society and men in society, they become very bitter, very uh, non-approachable. So when you try to approach them and talk, say something to them, and they react right away. They're not as pleasant as a lot of people who are not familiar with the male customs here. Men here in the U.S. have been raised, basically most of them disrespect women or have no respect for women, and don't know how to deal with women because they were raised in a one-person family, usually by a bitter female who's got out of a relationship and was scorned from it. So the child never grows up, or children never grow up with both parents to see how a relationship should be, or doesn't mean it's perfect just because you have two parents. It could be devastating too. But having um, at least have a gauge of what a mother and father are supposed to be doing together as a family. A family is a unit of two people trying to do, or more, who trying to do something like raise kids to be better than what they are. Um, but talking about uh, different cultures and relationships, a lot of these, I see a lot of videos and a lot of people guys talking about they're going to Thailand, they're going to the Philippines and get women in Vietnam or wherever. And it's not the only place to find other women. I've been around. I was in the Army for over 17 years, so I just, I know there's difference, and you have options. Options are out there. You don't have to settle. Um, you can choose to go outside, but then you have to, like I keep saying, you have to deal with the other types of culture. And what I'm talking about is when you get involved with these other women from where you not only, just like in U.S. and United States here, you marry the family, but more so these women of these, especially Asian cultures, where the family is prevalent, and you wind up supporting them. My wife has been sending money to the Philippines to her brothers and sisters, and they have families, but we're sending them money to help support them. And she don't think anything's wrong with it, but I do. And that's what I mean. It's a difference in the culture. Um, this never came up until after we started having kids. We have two kids, and I have two other boys outside of the marriage, and they're grown, but and on their own, doing well. But these differences can wear on you after a while. You know, you keep wondering, well, why are you sending these people money, and you know the money stretches much further over there, and why do you have to keep supporting these people? In the United States, people, most of the time, if you marry a woman here, that's one good thing about it, you're not going to be supporting their mother. Even though in the United States, you can see Obama has Michelle that he's married to, the president, but his mother-in-law lives with him in the White House, right there, what supposedly taking care of the kids. But that's, you know, it depends on your family structure and what you guys believe. If you agree, and especially if you get along. I don't get along with my my mother-in-law that well. She hasn't called me once to say how you doing, and vice versa, you know. So that just lets me know where we are as far as our relation. And I don't care, because I didn't grow up with a good family structure. I grew up in a boys' home type of environment. At the age of probably 11, I was put in the boys' home to see whatever works. My family considered me out of control or whatever. So anyway, you know, crazy things happen. You survive, I survive. But guys, don't marry these women outside the U.S. thinking that everything's going to be perfect. Because, yeah, it will be for a little while, until her family starts putting pressure on you to support them and give them more money. Like my wife's family recently, every year or two, she sends her mother to the Philippines with a handful of money, and so they can pay their bills for the month or whatever, you know. And I don't agree with it, but she sneaks by with it, and before I know it, the money's gone. Fortunately, I just keep my mouth shut, and as long as we have what we need and we can survive on what we have, I don't say much about it, because I just tell her, when it comes to my parents, if I need to do that, I don't want to hear nothing about it either. You know, do what you need to do, as long as we are taken care of here. You know, that's all I'm really concerned about. So I just wanted to touch base with these guys. They fall in love with these women, and, you know, their guys are going over there to the Philippines and Thailand and other places, and they're buying homes for women that they think they're in love with, because they're so different than American women. They think they're in love, but then they wind up devastated and sometimes even homeless, because the homes have to be bought in the native person's name. And if you're a U.S. citizen or from Britain or wherever else, you're not going to be able to buy property there. So the property is going to be in their name. And that's part of what a lot of the scams are over there in those other countries. The girls get you to love them or go crazy about them. Next thing you know, you out on the street because the property's in their name and you can't do nothing about it. The government don't want to hear nothing that you have to say, because you have no proof. This is not yours. You bought it. She bought it with your money. So what? You gave her the money. She bought it. You out on the street. So that's just my warning to you guys that's out there thinking that, oh, I'll marry me this little exotic cutie, and better dig deeper and make sure it's what you really want to deal with, because there's a lot more to deal with than just her cute, pretty presence at the meantime. My wife was shapely when she was younger. Not anymore. All that's gone. So what I'm saying is, if you not into the person and can't deal with that person, all the cuteness dries up and goes away. Let me tell you, you'll be disappointed with what you have. So you better make sure that you really take your time and don't just jump into something and do stupid stuff. Okay? This is probably part one. I'll probably do another one. Okay? About marrying outside of the U.S. or marrying women from the U.S. or whatever. I'll figure out a title for it. All right? Talk to you again.